Hey everyone, and we are here on the Izu Peninsula, not far from Tokyo, maybe an hour by train, and I'm going to share with you a view today, sorry about the light there, that is quite stunning. Beautiful weather today, and well, there we go. So I'm going to talk you through this view I've got here. We are here at Shiofuki Park, which is about 3 kilometers from the center of Ito, that town just over there in the center of your about 3 kilometers from the center of Ito, that town just over there in the center of your picture right now. Now, Ito is here on the Izu Peninsula. The Izu Peninsula is just west of Tokyo, like I said, just south of Mount Fuji. The closest major city to this peninsula is either Atami or Odawara. And they both have Shinkansen stations if people want to come and visit here. You can get to the peninsula here, I'll get through all this first, by the JR line by the JR line to Ito, and then that stops here, and that takes about 20 minutes from Atami. Or you can continue on down the peninsula on the Izuku private line. A little bit more expensive when you go further down, but still some great views down there. We'll be heading down there later on. So in the center of my picture, as I said, is Ito, and then right behind it, yep, you guessed it, that's Mount Fuji. Brilliant spot, so clear today, and yeah, I just had to share this here at Shiofuki Park. Now I'll tell you a little bit about Ito. Thanks very much for that, Luke. Love it. Glad to see you're alive, mate. So Ito has a population of just over 68,000. Most of the town is just to the left here behind the bend, but relatively small town, basically a small city, but it has enough of things to do for a trip down here. Definitely worthwhile. Hopefully later on I'll show you where I'm staying. Definitely a place worth visiting. It was a building built in 1909 and is a brilliant guest house that is really, really cheap. The whole peninsula here has a population of just under 500,000, but I think it is decreasing sadly like the rest of Japan. Most of the people live up north. In the center of your picture right there, that is Atami, and most people live up there. But Ito, as I said, just under 100,000 here. It's a collection of 4 towns together, actually. So throughout history, I'll try and put this down so it's not wobbling as much for you guys. Nice and secluded here. Only one other person has come up, and I've been here for quite a while. I'll give you that little view there. There you go. Sit down, get comfy. So Ito is 4 towns together. It is Ito itself, it is Komuro town, Tsushima, and Usami. And throughout history, the urban sprawl slowly collected all of the towns, and it just became one town, which became Ito. In 1604, this is where Ito gets a lot of its history. William Adams, a British man, was hired by the Tokugawa shogunate to build Western ships. Now this is very important because this is the first Western ships built in Japan. Before that, they had their own ships, but were not as strong and not as good as the Western ships that were clearly crossing the world already by now. So that's where Ito gets its little cry to fame here. Just down the peninsula, back the other way here, is Shimoda. And Shimoda is one of the first ports to ever have any Westerners. We'll be visiting there as well. Very cool setting, love learning about the history. Thank you very much, Underwater Sandwiches, love it. What else about Ito can I tell you? Ito has a few sister cities. One of them, which is interesting, is Reita in Italy. And there's actually a small park here, which is Italy Park, and it is really nothing like Italy. But probably for the people of Ito, it's yeah, their little Italian town, you know. It has about 3 or 4 olive trees next to the river, and that's it. What else about Ito? Those that are anime fans, The Neon Genesis Evangelion anime actually had a battle scene here, which is between Eva 02, I think it's Eva 02 or 2, against an enemy angel, and it was clearly referencing Ito. So if you're an Evangelion fan, here you go. As I said, straight ahead, Mount Fuji, very pretty. Not often you'll get to see it like this, because usually it will be cloudy, or there'll be a bit of mist, and you won't be able to see it as clear as today. Sadly, phone zoom isn't fantastic. I can't afford a good camera just yet, but it does a bit. And then we're going to move around, and this is the bit that really got me when I was here. A couple of islands here in the foreground. I checked, this little one here has no name or anything, it's just a little island, but the one behind that is Hatsushima, which is a resort island, and I was talking to the owners of the guest house where I'm staying, and apparently most people get there not by boat or anything like that, because it's such an exclusive resort island close to Tokyo. People actually come by helicopter, and ever since I heard that, I've begun to notice, hey, there's actually quite a few helicopters that go by, like more than you would think for an area so secluded like this. Hey, let's be nice in the chat there. No bullying, come on guys. Yeah, so very exclusive. But then if you can see behind it, I don't think you'll be able to see. Sadly, the phone camera isn't as good as the human eye, but I'll tell you what I can see. I can see Kamakura, I can see Odawara, and I can see in the distance there the edge of Yokohama and Yokosuka, which is ages away, and crazy that you can see it from here. I took a local train to save some money for about an hour. On the bullet train it would take about 20 minutes, but still that's far distance, and to be able to see it over the sea is so clear and beautiful, and especially to be able to see Fuji as well. I mean, like, you can't argue against seeing Fuji. And then even further in the distance you can see actually the edge of Chiba Prefecture, the Tateyama, and that entire peninsula there. So I imagine in summer, when the mist isn't too bad, it would be one hell of a sight to be here. Apparently in summer it does get very busy here down the peninsula when the Japanese people come, especially over Christmas as well, and Golden Week. But right now, you can get a bed in most places. A lot of hotels are actually closed over this end of autumn, winter period. So sometimes it has a bit of a dystopian feel actually here. There's a park that I went to in one of my previous videos here that, yeah, feels very abandoned, a lot of concrete, not very inviting for children, and it's just empty with a few abandoned buildings. Am I staying somewhere in this scene? Thank you very much for the question. I am staying just behind that hill over there. So, you know, just over there. Hopefully I'll be able to give you a tour. I'm going to have to ask the guest house owners whether I can. But I'll share it with you guys if I can. Lovely guest house on the river. And maybe somehow I can leave a photo or a link to a photo in the comments, or however else this works. Can you see this face? Sure thing. I thought you'd rather see the view than this man right here. There we go. Got to get that angle right. Don't want a bit of chin. Face reveal at 10k. I'd love 10k. 10k would be lovely, but every single one of you I appreciate, no matter what, just yet. I've learnt my lesson so far. We got some notes, so I'm not just talking about nothing this time. But yep, just up here. And that there is it. Oh, you, Mia's Gems. Give some of those boys a follow if you like. Part of the conglomerate. James specializes in Spanish videos and underwater sandwiches. There, he specializes in reviews of reviews. So if you're into that stuff, check him out. Follow the link. Okay, so we're gonna switch around now. And you can stop looking at my ugly face. Down here, which is actually pretty depressing to see, there's a small little shrine has been clearly blown over from the wind. I would go and try and fix it with my building skills, but looks like there's some spider webs there, so we're not going anywhere near that. I'm going to take you over to the other side here, looking south on the peninsula, and I'll set you guys up again so we're not bouncing around. Very nice, very pretty, and the picture too, you guys. So right now we're looking at Kawana, that small town right in the center of your picture, just there. It's a small port town, smaller than Ito, often just connected with Ito. It has its own train station though. And right up there on the top of the hill there, that building, is actually a stained glass museum. I've yet to go there, but if I can walk that far today, I may actually check it out. That gap in the trees over there, I thought, wow, that looks like a kind of cool park. It's actually a resort with a nice golf course. Probably can't afford that, sadly. Although I do love some golf. Golf here in Japan is very expensive because it is such a mountainous country. There is not enough flat space at times for golf courses, especially in the Tokyo area and also in the Kansai region, because so many people live on the plains, because the plains were built, were used for growing rice, growing crops. But that means people have to live there. There's no random leftover space for any golf courses now that's become westernized, and the Japanese people really like golf. So you'll find golf driving ranges sometimes in cities. They can be expensive if you're near the center, but yeah, very expensive compared to at least Australia. And then you can see down right on the end there, I don't know if you can see it, there's a nice little lighthouse. Hopefully be able to check that out as well. Now, right behind it there, this area, can you see it just there? That is Izu Oshima. Yeah, it would be mint. I don't know if I can get there because I don't know if it's part of the golf course or not, or whether it's part of this national park. National park, by the way, is the Fuji Hakone Izu National Park. Basically, Mount Fuji right behind you, over there. Hakone right behind you over there. We're going to go there as well, and Izu, which is this whole peninsula, the national park. It's just part of the whole mountain range, which is the Amagi mountain range, which just goes straight down the middle of it. It's basically because Izu was formed from two plates clashing together. I think one was on the Philippine Sea, and I'm not sure exactly what the other one is. Built huge mountain range. Everywhere in Japan has a huge mountain range though. Okay, back to Izu Oshima. See, it is a volcanic island actually, an archipelago, and it is the largest of the islands. Which is technically in the Tokyo's prefecture, this island. Even though now we're in Shizuoka prefecture, which is just to the west of it, past Kanagawa, so 2 prefectures across, that's actually still Tokyo. Why? Don't fully count me on this, but I'm pretty sure, here we go, we'll dive back. So don't fully count me on this, but I'm pretty sure this is because Tokyo has a lot of money compared to a lot of other smaller prefectures. These prefectures here are a little bit wealthier than some of the outlying prefectures actually, but because these islands are so far-fetched, to be able to have supply chains and things like that to help the people there, it's actually very expensive. So then Tokyo, with all the money, they can assist these outlying islands that are more expensive to get to, although extremely secluded and a lot less people, and no means Tokyo at all. I mean, the population of Oshima is 8,000, which is nothing. But the highest point of it over there, we'll look behind. The highest point of the island is Mount Mihara, and we'll switch it back here because we got a PAL. Mount Mihara, and it is 764 meters high, and the whole island has 52 kilometers of coastline. It was formed about 10,000 to 15,000 years ago, and it has been in certain pop culture things such as Godzilla movies, The Return of Godzilla, because of its volcanic associations, and also in Pokemon. So this island here was the inspiration for Cinnabar Island, which is a volcanic sort of dystopian island with some old mansions. But yeah, that right there for the Pokemon fans is Cinnabar Island, and we'll be looking a bit more into that later. But that's about all I've got to show you here. It's been about 15 minutes anyway, so I don't want to keep you guys too long talking about nothing. But thanks very much for joining. Any questions before I end this one off, and I'll give you guys some views. Stunning, isn't it? How are you? I'm good, thank you. Enjoying the lovely weather, actually. Can you do a fishing vid? Before I started this video, I walked across here around the side, and that's where Ito Port is. And as part of that, there's a diving area, and I saw a lot of fishermen there doing tsuri, so fishing. And I asked one guy, like, oh, like, you catching much? Just on top of the water, did you? Yeah, you catching much? And he's like, choto, like, not too much. So I don't know if there's much catching right now, but maybe in a later video, I'm gonna research a little. I'm gonna see what the laws are. I assume they're a lot less strict here in Japan for fishing. But yeah, I definitely want to fish because I'm here for a week, and I got some time to kill, and I'm staying on a river, and I wouldn't mind just casting a line out. I don't know what I can catch. I'll research into that and let you guys know, and I'll hit you up if maybe I have a live stream or maybe a set video about that. A lawless society, basically. If a man like me can go around with a stick with his phone freely, yeah, I'm pretty sure he can do anything here. But I'll leave you guys here, that lovely view of Mount Fuji. And one of the next videos I'm going to be doing, I'll drop a little hint here for the end for those that stayed. Oh, there we go, you got a question about it on. So the next video, actually, I've been taking a lot of footage for stuff, but the next one that is like a planned set video that I think I'll put out, I'm hoping to do it in less than a week or so, depends on what footage I can get. And it's going to be of all of the Kanto Pokemon region. And I've gone to a lot of places. As I said, there's Cinnabar Island over there, Mount Fuji, there you go, that's actually Mount Silver for the Pokemon fans. Further along is Hakone, which is Viridian City. And there's lots of other places that I've been to. I won't be able to go to everywhere, but a lot of the places I'll go to. And I'm going to try and give a bit of a visual guide for, you know, people who played Pokemon at all, especially with the new Let's Go games coming out. People will be revisiting Kanto and thought, hey, why not check it out? There's nothing really out there about this, so why not tell people something different? But yep, thanks for watching, guys. We've been here 18 minutes, a lot longer than I expected. But thanks very much for sitting around. Thanks, Underwater Sandwiches. But thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.